So hello friends. So today we'll try to debug one real-time scenario on a record level security. So today's topic is debugging of users record visibility issue. So let me give you some background about the issue. So the issue is like our client is complaining like even though OWD of our object is private, still the user can see the record created by other user. Like here. So if we know like if OWD of an object is private, that means only owner of the record can see the record. Only owner of the record can see the record. But here, what client is complaining like not only the owner, but the other user are also able to see the record created by other user. Okay. So if I come to my org, so this is my admin. So you can see this is the admin. And here if I go to this principal object, you can see there are two records. So for the principal object, if you can go to the sharing and setting, so you can see the sharing and setting for the principal object is private. That means only record owner can see the record. That is the meaning of this OWD is private. But still what client is saying, even though the OWD of record is private, still the other owner, so the user who created the record, he can see his own record. But now he is not only able to see his own record, but he's also able to see the record created by other user. So we have to solve this issue. So how to resolve this issue? So first of all, we'll go here and we'll see like this is the actual issue what I just discussed with you. Okay. So now the OWD of a record is private. Now from another browser, I logged in as this test user. Now this is the issue. So there are, if you see at the admin side, in a principal object, I have created two records. So one is created by admin because admin can see all the record. So this another record is created by test user. So admin can see all the record, but when you go to the user's login, now I have logged in as a test user. So test user created only one record. So if you go here and if you can see the owner, so this is like, this is the admin user and this is the record created by other user. So logically, if the OWD of this principal object is private, that means this user should able to see only one record, not this record, because the owner of this created by user admin record is not the user. This not the test user. It is created by the other user, maybe admin or maybe some other user. So by concept, if OWD is private, then this test user should not be able to see the record created by other user. But right now what is happening? This test user is able to see the record created by other user. So how to resolve the issue? So first of all, what we need to take care is, now we have to follow this diagram. So first of all, like at the bottom, you can see here, we can keep the OWD as private. Okay. So now OWD is private here. It's a restricted one. So once the OWD is private, and if you want to open up the access, we can go like this. So if my client says my OWD of is this principal object is private, still the other user can see the record. So first debugging step I will do, I'll follow this diagram. So I'll try to check, okay, do we have any role hierarchy? So I'll go to and check, do we have any role hierarchy? If I don't find any role hierarchy, then I'll go and check, do we have any sharing rules? That's why this another user is able to see the record. Do we have any sharing rule? So I can go to the role hierarchy. So you can check in a role. You can check the sharing rule. So I can go as an admin and I can check, do we have any sharing rule? So this principal object is there. So I can just search for a principal object and I'll see, do we have any sharing rule? No, we don't have any sharing rule. So we don't have any role hierarchy. We don't have any sharing rule. Again, next we have to check, do we have any manual sharing setting? So do we have any manual sharing for that record? That's why the user is able to see the record. So if this not having role hierarchy, not having sharing rule, not having manual sharing, then there is one more concept, like if the OWD is private, but if on the permission set or on the profile, if you have the view all or modify all permission, if we have view all or modify all permission, in that case also the user who is holding that profile or holding that permission set can see the record. Now if I go to this user, so this is my test user and the profile for test user. So if I go to the user and I'll check what is the profile this user is holding, so I'll go to this and I'll check for my user, test user. So if I click on test user, so here you can see the test user is having a profile Salesforce tutorial. So I'll click on the Salesforce tutorial profile. And then I'll go for, I'll just edit this and I'll see what kind of permission this user is having onto the principal object. So let me go at the bottom. Here you can see we have the principal and here we have a read, create, edit and view all. So if I just try to uncheck this and then save this record, see what happens. Okay. Now, if you go to this user and try to refresh it now. So right now we can see 2 record. Now if I refresh it, so once you refresh it, you can logically see, or you should logically see 1 record. So let's just verify. Now see, if I go to the all record, so you can see only the record created by 1 user. Now one more time, if I go to that principal object one more time, and if I make it, it's a view all. So if I go at the bottom and just try to make this as a view all now. Now see what happens. So if you make it view all, and just save it, and now go to your object and just try to edit this. Now one more thing here, if you go to the record created by this user, test user, so let me go to that record. So this record, now see if I click on this record, and if I try to modify any field, so maybe I'm just trying to modify, say created by name. So I'll just make it say 1 and I'll save it. It is allowing me to save. Now let me go to the other record, which is created by some other user. So I click on this. And if I try to modify this, maybe I'll try to modify this. Now see, I'm getting this issue. What's the issue? Even though I can see the record, but if you have noticed that the permission what I have is a view all permission. So I can only view the others record, not I can modify that. Now, but if I modify this profile and if I just provide the modify all permission over here, so it's now only view all. Now, if I just go and make it a modify all permission, now see what happens. So if I just click on modify all permission and save it, now you try to go to the record created by other user, the same record, just try to refresh it. Okay. And now try to modify it. So if you just try to modify it, the record created by other user, see what happens. So this is the record created by the admin user. Now if I try to edit it, now if I try to save, now it is allowing me to save because I have the modify all permission. So even if you have view all permission, so you can edit your own record, but you can only view the others record. And if you have the modify all permission, you can edit your record, you can view your record. Also, you can edit others record and you can view others record. So this is the scenario, and what should be our answer is in this case. So first of all, if this is the scenario, we will ask user like as an admin, first we will check, do we have any role hierarchy? If we don't find any role hierarchy, we'll look for the sharing rule. Do we have any sharing rule? Maybe because of the sharing rule, the user can see the record. Do we have any manual sharing? Maybe that particular record is shared by this user with some manual sharing. If we don't have, then we have to check on a profile or maybe on a permission set for view all or modify all permission. View all or modify all permission. Okay, modify all permission. So this is how you can tackle with this scenario or this real-time issue. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for listening me. We'll come back to with some another interesting video.